F.E.A.R is a series that I personally love to the end of time. Back in the day, 2007, I got my 360. I got Halo 3, which I shall be doing a video on, and I got F.E.A.R Assault Recon. I played those two. I had to go all the way to my auntie's 30-40 minutes away, and I took my 360 with me, and I played this, and I played Halo 3 the entire time, and I loved every second of it. F.E.A.R is the sort of thing that I love growing up with. If you're a fan of Hong Kong action movies, John Woo type movies, John Wick type movies, if you are a fan of The Matrix, if you are a fan of horror like The Ring, this is the series, this is the games for you. This, my friends, is balls to the wall, scary ass action that never gives up and never gives in. It is a pounding sensation of awesomeness that just does not stop at all in any part or any sort of form. It's just a 10 out of 10 go by the series. It is amazing. And yes, 2 and 3 are a very good series as well. But it gets a bit interesting because the story is not too bad, but it can also be a bit confusing because we had the original F.E.A.R. And then we had the F.E.A.R files, which gave you Extraction Point and Perseus Mandate, which personally I think Extraction Point is like peak F.E.A.R, 100%. It takes the best of the original F.E.A.R game and evolves it and gives you a bit less of the bullshit and gives you a lot more of the awesome shit, if that makes sense. And then Perseus Mandate was okay at best. Still not bad, and honestly, this was a really good price point at the time as well. Worth the dollary dues, I assure you. Monolith created F.E.A.R 1, and then they created these. And this was supposed to be, these two games were supposed to be a part of the story. Then some BS happened, and then they made F.E.A.R 2 Project Origin, which kind of threw this out. So you've kind of got a very Halloween type of storytelling where it's like you can go to F.E.A.R 1, and then if you wanted to, you could go to Extraction Point and Perseus Mandate. There's some story there. Or you go to F.E.A.R 1, F.E.A.R 2, F.E.A.R 2 Reborn, and F.E.A.R 3. Although some also say that F.E.A.R 2 Reborn is its own thing, and yeah, it gets a bit confusing, but in the end, it is a damn fine series with fun horror elements. We're going to mainly be seeing footage of the F.E.A.R files because I don't think that gets as much love, and it has the same gameplay as the original game. It's just got that little bit extra that I think is perfect and nobody really talks about. But everything I say in this goes towards the original F.E.A.R. So you are Point Man, a badass with the best reflexes of slow-mo. And if you're a fan of Max Payne, if you're a fan of, say, The Matrix and such, you are in your world. Slow-mo, blowing people up with guns, action movie galore. You are living an action film. And this is the thing. This is a game that just doesn't get respect anymore because we don't see this sort of game anymore, or rarely do we see it. You could go into a pristine work office and after a firefight, it is completely destroyed. Bullets everywhere, blood and gore everywhere. The entire room is destroyed by bullet fire and grenades and who knows what else other weapons you have at the time. And it still is not beaten to this day. This game is 20 years old. 2005 is when it came out. And I shit you not, this game still has better first-person shooting, better AI, and better atmosphere than a lot of games out there. The game has a very smooth look to it, very Quake 4, as we looked at before, very Doom 3 as well. It was kind of a mix of that, but with the more action-oriented Max Payne, martial artness that we get from all these lot of movies. It was very, very inspired. It had some great horror elements, which, yes, if you replay the game a lot, and you will replay this game a lot, the scariness and the atmosphere can kind of, you get used to it and you kind of throw that away after a while, which is fine because the gameplay is a 10 out of 10. Remember when we talked about Quake 4 with its fantastic shotgun? Well, guess what? F.E.A.R has one of the greatest shotguns in gaming. It is up there with Doom 2's super shotgun. It is so good. I feel so dirty using it in the best way possible. I feel like a full-blown bogan with a shotgun when I use that beast. Oh mate, it's okay. I'm just shooting your head off. It's alright. Let me just reload, eh? You know what they say? Shit happens. Ah. Everything gone. Everything dead. Boom, blood and gore everywhere, and it is a sight to behold. This is a shotgun. This is a weapon that is a character in itself. It never gives up, it never gives in, and it will completely destroy the environment you are in. It is, as a fan of first-person shooters, as a fan of blood and gore in my games, a good way to get rid of your anger, this is peak gaming. You can shoot their heads off, their arms off, you can shoot them in half. You can shoot them so much that they explode in blood and gore, especially in slow motion, in a wonderful cloud of blood. And you can, and this is still, again, something that's not even defeated to this day. You can go right through them and destroy the next one, and then the next one. You could throw a grenade through it. And it's just, this is the sort of first-person shooters that we deserve to have. This is pinnacle. This is so pinnacle first-person shooter gameplay that is so surprising we do not have that anymore. It has been a long time since I've played a game similar to the F.E.A.R series where everything just works, from the gameplay to the walking around to the shooting to the jumping, the ability to go from hand-to-hand combat with kicks and lunges and stuff to just getting a shotgun out and bang, or switching to a machine gun, or throwing a grenade, or throwing a grenade that has a minigun attached to it, because they have those in that. It's just amazing. And then they bring in like little mechs and stuff, and then of course in the second and third game you get the ability to control mechs. It's like every great anime, martial arts movie, sci-fi, fantasy, it's all mixed into this bundle of joy, this bundle of blood and gore, this bundle of amazement that gets no respect anymore because people have forgotten about it. And I say dare not to. Do not dare. Get your ass into gear and get yourself F.E.A.R, because it is the first-person shooter for you. And yeah, it's 20 years old, but it doesn't feel that way. Visually, yes, it can feel that way, but it still has a lot of atmospheric lighting. It does feel alive and lived in. And the only problem with the graphics that I've ever had with it is the fact that, especially in the first game, a lot of repeating textures and walkways and rooms. Everything feels the same after a while. You go into one building office section, you've gone into pretty much all the building office sections with little variations. And this is kind of why I like Perseus Mandate a bit better as the expansion, because it added so much more. It added the best parts of the original F.E.A.R, and it gave you less same old in terms of the levels. It gave you some very more open levels as well, and it gave you more alive and less boring, oh, here we go, we're shooting in another office again, which, don't get me wrong, is fun. Shooting in an office and having everything be destroyed, from the glass to the computer screens to the fax machines, good stuff. Like, in terms of how you destroy this environment, it is peak, but it does get annoying after a while. And this is why I recommend F.E.A.R Files, because it is a series of very good levels that they kind of looked at the original F.E.A.R game and went, okay, let's evolve and let's take back the problems that we had in the first game and just make it better and evolve it and give us a really good solid game for the expansions. And they actually also did this in the sequels, which I will one day get to. I do like the sequels, don't worry. I do not hate them as some others do, but I do think F.E.A.R Files are pinnacle F.E.A.R in so many ways. I mean, look, F.E.A.R is what you get if you had every single badass moment in, say, Max Payne 1 and 2, and even 3, which is a 10 out of 10 as well. And yeah, you get a game that you just need to check out. It is over the top. It is fun, and it has a good story. So you've got the horror elements of, like, say, Alma, which, you know, you unlock a few things. You've got some crazy clone warriors that you fight, which are the best ones to fight. You also fight some other normal security people and some mercenaries and stuff, which, again, not bad, but the clones are where you're at it, and they just get destroyed in so many great ways. Because here's the thing, the AI in this game is up there. It is up there with the original Halo. It is up there with aspects of Half-Life. It is so good that to this day you cannot have the same firefight over and over again. Like, you could be in the same area and you could restart it, but it will be completely different each time, because they will move, they will communicate, and it will feel different. It is so well done. It is so realistic in the sense, and then it blows your mind even more that this game came out 20 years ago and the AI is still some of the best, although you could say the same for things like Halo and Half-Life as well, which still have fantastic AI. Feels like AI has just gone backwards in terms of how well you can actually make it work, but hey. And I think another thing it does pretty well is its linearity. So yes, it is a very linear game. It is an adventure, very much from A, B, A, B, A, B. It's great, you're in the first person shoes and you kind of feel your way through. You're walking through every environment, evolving as you go, evolving around you. Really good stuff. It is a good linear. You know, with Quake 4, it was linear, but it felt too linear. This is a good linear because, yes, you will be going through hallways and there'll be certain puzzles you've got to work out. But when you get into a firefight, yeah, they'll give you small little firefights, which are great, but then they'll give you more open ones where it's like a kind of, It's not exactly a sandbox, but it is big enough where you've got multiple ways to kind of plan your journey and plan your attack. But even then, it also adds just enough things scattered throughout the environment where it feels more like a maze sometimes. And I think this is something that really works. If you're going to have a linear game, having sort of somewhat open but linear slash maze type levels really adds a lot, and it does do that. And yeah, if you go off the beaten path, you'll get upgrades, health upgrades, and the ability to get more slow-mo, which is probably the best thing in this game. Just like Max Payne, the slow-mo is king, and the best part about this gameplay is when you slow down time and you let loose in whichever way your brain seems to fit to your playstyle. So good, I could not, there is no negatives whatsoever. And yeah, overall, I'm telling you right now, F.E.A.R is a game to play. If you've never heard of F.E.A.R, go pick it up. You can get it on PC, GOG, Steam. If you've got an original 360, get it on 360. It's even backwards compatible with Xbox One and Xbox Series X and stuff. Just give it a go. F.E.A.R 2, F.E.A.R 3, F.E.A.R Files, all of it. The entire F.E.A.R series is a master. Absolutely worth your time and effort. And while you might hear some bad things about 2 and 3, it doesn't matter. At the very core of the essence of what the gameplay is, and even the horror elements, it does a really good job, and it stays quite consistent throughout the entire series, and we need it back. It hurts me to say that there is no more F.E.A.R, because it is a fantastic story, fantastic game with some of the best first-person shooting you will ever have. It is a 10 out of 10. It is nostalgic, but in the best way possible, and it shows a time where gameplay was always first, and sort of, yes, it's a very detailed game, but it doesn't need to be, in a sense. It knew that you wanted fun and over-the-topness, and it gave it to you. It gave you the best parts of media, sci-fi, horror, and great kung fu films in a first-person shooter. We don't see that often anymore. But anyway, that is Aussie Viking out. I shall see you in Valhalla. Let's kill some clones.
I know it doesn't make sense. Not much does anymore. You killed me. I didn't like that.